Alright, so today we're going to do a VOD review, watching mid lane gameplay of Cassiopeia versus Fizz, and what we're going to be really looking at is jungle tracking. We're just going to be solely focusing on that and how jungle tracking can impact your games and what you can do to take advantage of that. Basically, how to jungle track, and what to do with that information and how to know what to do with that information. So just to start off, we have Cassiopeia versus Fizz. I know Fizz has a weak level 1. And some key concepts going into this when it comes to jungle tracking is, first of all, the golden rule for jungle tracking is that it's most likely the jungler is going to be done and looking for a gank by 3 minutes and 15 seconds. If they're like going buff to buff and then trying to do a cheese gank, they could do it at like 240, 230 if they want. So basically, anytime between 2 minutes 30 seconds and 3 minutes and 15 seconds, you should be placing a ward on either side of the map. And just a good rule of thumb, if you're ever just warding in general in mid lane, is you want to avoid placing wards right in the side bushes here, because those are like low value wards. They don't give you enough information, and if you know where the jungler is by jungle tracking, you know you can face check the bush and just put a deep ward way up there. And just right up there. And I already have one over here, but basically this is a pretty good spot to ward for getting that information. But I would be, if you want to be able to do that, you need to have what's called lane priority, which is usually just achieved by pushing into the enemy. So if you're pushing in early, one of the biggest weaknesses that pretty much everyone knows is that you're going to get ganked by the enemy. So to avoid that, you can use that to your advantage by starting a push into the enemy and using that time and that priority to go put a ward down. The other crucial thing is knowing how much CS the enemy jungler will have if they did a full clear. So if you do find the jungler with that ward and you're just like pressing tab or holding tab, you can see what camps they did. It sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. A full clear is going to give him, with golems included, is going to give him like 30 CS. Now, without golems, it's probably like 20 CS. And so if they get spotted by your ward after 315 and you see they have like 20 CS, you know, okay, they did their full clear. They're really looking for an all-in here. And you know that because they have 20 CS, their golems is still up. So you know that their next stop is going to be basically either ganking mid side, resetting, and going bot. But either way, they're going to be heading bot. That's their next place because they need to get this camp. And then they need to just go rinse and repeat. So let's see how we can use that information in this gameplay here. So I'm just abusing the level 1 Fizz and starting a slow build. Slow, just trying to get a nice At this point, what I would do is it's gonna crash into the tower. So I should be using this opportunity to just go and place that ward because it's about time, and if I was really scared, but this is still okay. I use that prio and I get that ward down. The Fizz tries to zone me out a little. And what happens is, you see, at around 315, it's like magic. Here, boom, 314. So basically 315. We just see he's right here chilling, and we know that. Okay, so I saw him on the map. I knew he was gonna be up there, and I see the Alawi. I know, okay, they're gonna look for some weird cheesy gank on me here. So what I should be doing is basically what I'm doing right now. I should just continue to do this, which is kite towards bot side. So if you think of the middle lane and you just split that in half, that's how you should generally be thinking about where you're playing. It should just be like a series of if-then statements. Basically like, okay, if I know the enemy jungler is topside, then I'm going to play on the bottom half. If I know enemy jungler is bottom half, I'm going to play on the top half. And it's pretty much that simple. As long as you're thinking about it, you can set yourself up for success here. So I messed up. I get ganked, but because I was positioning on that bottom side, I still survived. And I just get to reset, and then I TP back, so the lane's gonna be in a favorable spot for me, because it's just not gonna crash into my tower yet, and I'm just gonna have a bunch of minions to clear. So let's do this. At this point, it's 4 minutes in, and I got ganked, and I survived. So I know that, as we can see, that was his next goal, was going straight down to golems here. If we press tab, we can see that he has like 29 CS, which he stayed in mid, so that explains that. But roughly. Get a gank off here. So then the next big question is, okay, after the beginning part, what do you do now? Because this looks pretty scary, and it looks like it probably could have been avoided. And it definitely could have. It just came with negligence, since I got distracted by the fizz. But I know he's bot side, because I know that was his next goal. So if I'm thinking about this in the terms of being split, I should be on the top side here. And we can see how differently this plays out whenever I actually do that. So I'm playing that bot side, because of that I have to try to walk up the top side, and I just get flashed on, and I die. So we go back, and we see just before the gank if I'm staying on the top side rather than the bottom. This is where I would have seen him right here. If I was playing up here, we can see that I would already be right here, right down here, and this could have turned out completely differently. So it's just that simple. And then it's like, okay, we got more information. So like, we still got it. And we see shove it out. They overstay, which is good for me, and it gives me actually more information. I see him walk bot side, so I know, okay, he has a reason to walk back bot side. Either he's gonna A, reset, or B, finish his camps, because I know that if he's gonna walk bot side, those are like the only two options he has. Is it must mean, okay, he hasn't done his chance yet. So he walks bot side, and he's gonna do his chance. And so, like, 10 seconds later or whatever, I have prio again, because I prepped the wave based off the physics. I just tried to run it off a little bit. And then at this point, I know he's going to be top side, because why? Well, because we just saw him bot side, and we know it doesn't take 30 plus seconds to, clear chickens. So I know he's going to be top side to get a second rotation. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to ward the whole bot side. I place a deep ward, and then I go even further to place a control ward on Dragon, because I know it's safe. And then I walk right back. And then I just keep playing normal. He backs, so I get all in, which is just unfortunate. But either way, if I didn't die here, I would just play towards bot side, because even though he's gonna reset towards here, I have so much information that I'm gonna be able to get out anyways. But I get high value here because we see that now, because I got that ward down, boom, jungle track. And that's basically the gist of it. Other than that, you can also jungle track, generally speaking, by tracking where your jungler is, because a lot of the times, if they're both doing the same standard clear, or the champions are going to, if you see your jungler, like, let's say my jungler was here, then I know the enemy jungler is somewhere over here. That's if we never saw the enemy jungler during the first 5 minutes or whatever, then we know that they're just perma-farming, and we know my jungler is also perma-farming, so you can track them that way. So those are the two ways that you can use that and how you can implement that in your games. You can see that just by trying it in game, if it still seems complicated, just take it and look at a VOD, because like right here, this is my gameplay where I wasn't focusing too hard on jungle tracking after 3 minutes 15 seconds, but we can see that like even with that being said, there's so much to be learned from it,